Hey there everybody, Mark Curley back with another how to draw video. Sorry it's been so long since I did one of these, but I had these audio problems that were preventing me from doing how to draw videos, but those problems are fixed now, and let's not waste any time, let's get on into it. I'm going to show how to draw a manga eye, line by line, and let's zoom in a little closer to this area and get going. Alright, so I'm going to begin by drawing a circle. This is going to be the iris of the eye. And I'm not drawing a completely round circle because the eyelid is covering up part of the iris, and so it's a little bit flat on the top. That's where the top of the eyelid's going to go. So, but otherwise, pretty round. And now let's go ahead and get into doing this eyelash on the top. This line connecting with this one, kind of coming over here. Maybe not as the distance from here to here, maybe not quite as wide as the iris itself. Maybe just a little shorter than that. And having drawn that line, I'm going to go in and darken this up. This is a female eye, and so we're going to kind of make it look like she's wearing mascara, or else she just naturally has full eyelashes. And so I'm filling in this area, and notice as I come over here to the end, I'm going to go past the circle that I drew just a little bit, and then start indicating eyelashes coming off here. Just a few. You can come up with your own ways of doing these things. Some people like to have eyelashes going all the way across the top. I like to just sort of drop it in here on the right hand side. While we're up here, let's go ahead and indicate the fold of the eyelid. And notice where the line begins. It's not all the way down at this point, it's a little bit in. And it's quite close to the eyelash that we drew, except as it comes over here, it starts to kind of go its own way, and there's just a little bit more distance between this part, and the line ends somewhere around the same point where this circle is. Maybe make it go just a little more. Okay, so there we go with that, and let's get on to the highlights, which are going to go in here. I'm going to do two highlights, which is a little unusual for me. Normally I just do one, but you can see on the other eye that I drew, if you go back to the beginning of the video, you can see that there are two highlights on that eye, so I definitely have to repeat that over here on this eye. So we've got a big, very circular highlight here. We have a smaller kind of oval highlight to one side. Having indicated those, I can go ahead and do the pupil, which is partially obscured by this white highlight over here, but otherwise very round. And you can play around with different sizes for pupils. Sometimes the pupil is gigantic, and some manga eyes don't even have a pupil at all. I'm going to go ahead and darken in the outside edge of this circle of the iris. I find that a dark band around the edge helps make things pop. And now we're going to start to indicate, and I don't know the technical word for these, but there are these little lines within the human iris. And maybe someone can comment, someone who knows the actual word for these things. But I'm just sort of having them fan out. I don't have the lines quite touch the pupil. Notice that there's a little gap between the pupil and the lines. And sometimes the lines don't touch this outer edge either. Now I'm going to very lightly go in here and add just a little bit of tone with the side of my pencil. Very lightly. Just add a little color so that it separates from the white of the eye. But up here, above these two highlights, in this area up here, I'm going to go quite a bit darker. So create a second area, kind of darkened in. Not completely black, but considerably darker than below the highlights. I'm going to go ahead and darken in these lines that surround the highlights, create the boundaries, I guess, of those highlights there. And finally, we come down to the bottom of the eye, the lower eyelash. I'm going to put this in coming off here to the left of the iris just a bit. It's not going to keep going all the way to as far as that line went. It's kind of stopping. Maybe one pupil's width, something like that. And I'm going to go ahead and darken this in, maybe a little more than I normally do. And I'm adding in eyelashes here over on the side. Now, if you want to, you can go ahead and add a third element over here that starts to connect the upper eyelash down to the bottom eyelash. But I'm not going to have them actually touch one another. Just forms sort of the edge of the eye there. And there you have it. I think we're pretty much done. I'm going to pull back and show the final effect when the two eyes are seen together, and have some final words to tell you. Alright, so there we have it, both of the eyes completed. You can see how they look together. And I'm just going to wrap this one up. I'm going to make this one of my shorter videos. But in the future, I'll be back with the longer, more in-depth type of videos that I do. Let me, before I go, mention my manga series, Miki Falls, and thank everyone who's gone out to the stores to get this, and especially those people who, when they don't find it at the store, ask the people to special order it. I always greatly appreciate that. I know it's kind of a hassle to ask people to special order a series, but sadly these days, unless it's one of the really big famous ones, you almost have to be prepared to do that if you want specific titles. And, you know, generally the people at the stores are very happy to do that for you. Well, let's go ahead and end this video right here. Thanks so much for watching. Please let me know if there's any particular type of video you want to see. I want to go ahead and make the videos that you guys want to watch. But let's wrap it up for now and say that I will be back with another video real soon.